there, it's Crystal Summer Bear Jones here with Wedding Secrets and Heirloom Photography. So I'm also traveling still, this is also going to be another shorter video, and I'm going to be chatting only for about 10 minutes about some mistakes I made planning my wedding and some mistakes I have seen other people do. And the biggest one is hiring friends for your wedding. Now, and I do mean friends even if they're professionals. So if you do hire, so one of the biggest mistakes, specifically with photography, people want to save money and they think anybody can take a photograph. True, anybody can take a photograph. That doesn't mean that they're going to be good. It doesn't mean they're going to be lit correctly, the people are going to be posed correctly, that they're going to be delivered correctly, the right size of files so that you can print them or put them in an album. It doesn't mean that people are going to actually deliver your photos in a timely manner. So when you are thinking about hiring a friend to do something, first, are they someone that is just learning how to do it? And if so, make sure you have the expectations that they're just learning. So it will probably not be perfect. And if you're looking to just do like a backyard deal, that might be exactly what you're looking for. And that'd probably be perfect for you. However, if you have a more traditional or elaborate day planned, you definitely want to hire a professional. Now, I hired two friends of mine. Well, friends, acquaintances. They're both professional. One of them, she couldn't make it last minute, and that was my wedding planner. So she sent her associate. Now, I did trust her that the associate would do a good job, and that was not the case. The associate was fabulous up until the day of the wedding, and I was actually directing everything the day before, and she did a lot of work and really helpful. However, the incomplete list that she had to do was not done correctly, to the point where the sand for the sand ceremony was not up there. I had like 6 different colors because I had me, my husband, and our 2 parents, and we were all going to pour sand. And there was 2 colors, the wrong colors. I had got different colors to match the theme of the wedding, and it was not up there. And then she tried to blame it. Oh, well, they were supposed to take it up there when they walked down the aisle. That was never discussed. It was never supposed to be. That's a whole different ball of wax. So that's just an example of somebody who sent an associate instead of themselves, who literally just completely dropped the ball. Now, I do not blame my wedding planner friend. When she said that she couldn't make it at that time, I should have said, okay, let's go ahead and cut ties, and I'll go ahead and hire somebody here in California, because her business is based out of Texas. So, and she was familiar with California, and she's got such attention to detail. I mean, had she been there, nothing would have gone awry. It would have been perfect. She is fantabulous. But then I hired a friend / acquaintance of mine, also a mentor, somebody I had actually second shot for, and that was a photographer. And I had looked at all his work, had long meetings and conversations with him. And then what I received was just like, the ceremony, we got like 60 photos from the ceremony, and that's it. It didn't even include all the things I wanted in the ceremony, like all the things I included, and he knows what I include because I second shoot for him. And it's what most seasoned photographers include. So I hired him, and he was a friend, and I feel like because I was a friend, he didn't treat it as professionally as he should have. Nothing was posed correctly. It's not a huge deal because the people are in the photos and the people are most important. So that's not a huge deal. But there were some things that were just like, oh my gosh, how did you, as a photographer, how do you miss the bridesmaids all holding their bouquet in one hand, and then one bridesmaid holding it in the other with the other arm flailing out? And you deliver that to me? Are you kidding me? Like, that is super unprofessional. So when you're hiring somebody that's a friend, the one thing you want to talk about is, number 1, are they a professional? Number 2, are they going to treat you like a professional? Now, I have been hired by my family members before, and I had them sign a contract, and I treated it like any other wedding. Now, the day of, I had a little bit, once my duties were over, and it was kind of more of a, it wasn't a backyard shindig, but it was more of like a very low key event. And so I was able to kind of relax after all the main photos were done and my job was done. Then I was able to relax and have fun. However, oh, my baby girl is awake. I'm going to go get her real quick. Don't mind my messy bed behind me. I'm sorry. She woke up, and yes, she has a diaper on her. Yes, because she piddles. We call it piddling. She's 15. Yes, this is my boo boo kings. Oh, yes, and she's blind. I do take her with me quite often. When I travel. Oof. Because I want to spend as much time with my sweet girl as I can before she goes to doggy heaven. It was a rough week too. My dog sitter lost 2 of her dogs. Oh, baby girl. Anyway, sorry. But this is me. If you're watching this channel, like, this is real life, and yeah. I'm sure I'll get more professional as time goes on, but I'm still very much transparent and share my life and imperfections. And on the wedding day, I'm attention to detail a lot, but on the wedding day, I'm really attention to detail. Getting back to hiring friends. So I was talking about my cousin's wedding. I had them sign a contract and I delivered it. I treated it exactly as I would any professional. And I do know, as a photographer, I do kind of go way above and beyond what most photographers do when it comes to editing. And that's because I never want somebody to see their photographs and feel like they look fat, or their family member's eyes are closed and they don't have any other photograph of it. It's really passion of mine, and I probably take too much time and I don't charge enough. I already know I don't charge enough for what I do. And I'm not the cheapest. My packages start at $3,500. So I am not the cheapest, but I take a lot of time with each, couple and each portrait client. And so when I'm hired by friends or family members, I really treat it like a professional. So if you're going to hire a family member, you make sure that you're signing a contract with them, and you make sure that they're going to treat you and tell them, I want you to treat me like you would any other professional that you're working with. That's super important. Other than that, so the only two regrets I have when hiring my vendors were the ones that I hired friends. One of them, had she been there, she would have been fantastic because she treated it professionally. She treated me professionally. And unfortunately, she trusted somebody, and that person let her down and me down. And unfortunately, that happens sometimes. And the other person was my photographer, who I literally just don't talk to anymore because it's too painful, and I just don't have the right words to express to him how disappointed I really was. And thank God I hired a videographer I made sure that they had 2 people that showed up, and they had 4 cameras, and I spent extra money on that. They probably should have been charging more too, actually, come to think of it, because they had such amazing coverage. So I say all this to say, in the end, you really want to spend the extra money that might be extra to hire a professional, because you don't want to ruin a friendship or a relationship. And that can happen when you're hiring friends or family, is that it's delicate. You don't want to mix business and personal too terribly much. I do include my personal life in my business so that people can connect with me. But like when I was going through breakups or anything that was happening before, I didn't let it affect my business. And when you are hiring friends or family to do something and they let you down, it can really affect the relationship. So just think about that before you hire anybody who is a friend or family member, because if they let you down, it is going to be incredibly hard to go and approach them and tell them that. And I know that from personal experience. So I really wanted to touch on that. These last few videos are a bit shorter because I am traveling So I will be back at home here next week. So I'll be recording videos at home, and some of them, one of them is going to be a longer video about DIYing things versus hiring professionals to do it. And I will be showing some photos about that, and what I regret DIYing, what I don't, and what I'm kind of have mixed feelings about. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, or you're concerned about, like, there are some things where if you hire a friend it might be okay, and there are some things that it really just wouldn't be okay. My dad, I had him as the officiant. That's totally fine. Hiring somebody as an officiant is fine. Hiring a musician that's a friend or family member to sing at the wedding, also great. But also have a backup. Have a DJ there, as you know, for the party part. So there are a few things that I would say would be okay to hire or have your friend or family member come in. Those are the two things. The officiant, for sure. You just want to make sure that they have all the legal paperwork and things in that they need to. Like my dad, in that specific county. So I got my license in Contra Costa County, but we were getting married in, oh my gosh, San Luis Obispo County. And so we had a open marriage license, so it didn't matter where we got married. But my dad had to, I filled out all the paperwork for my dad, and then had my dad print it out, notarize it, and send it back. And that's how that worked. And the other thing I would say for friends is musicians. So if you have a friend who wants to do an amazing song for you, or maybe wants to do live music during the ceremony, totally fine. I will, however, say you do want a sound specialist there to make sure that people can hear you during the ceremony, because I have been at a number of weddings where the mic was not working and nobody could hear anything. This has happened at beaches more often than not. You want to have a sound specialist. DJs are often not sound specialists. And I actually did talk with a sound specialist. I did not reach out to him yet. I talked to him at the wedding fair in San Francisco, and I haven't had a chance to reach out to him. But he really enlightened me to that, is that if you hire a DJ team, make sure they are very well versed in sound, because a lot of DJs are not. If they are not well versed in sound, and you have a challenging place where you're getting married, and sometimes that's going to be in a elaborate hall that has a lot of ornate decorations, and what it does is it reverbs sound, and so the sound ends up being really funky sounding, which is what actually happened at the wedding fair with the DJ, because the DJ was blasting music out, and it was so loud, and it was so hard to talk. And it wasn't even that loud. It's just that the sound was going out and bouncing off the walls all around us, and so it sounded really funky. So that's a lot of things to think about, I know, and there's a lot of things to think about when planning your wedding. So if you do hire your own personal musician, just make sure that you have somebody for sound to make sure you can hear the ceremony. And the only other thing I would think of, if you're going to hire a friend, is possibly a friend to do the flowers. But you want to make sure that those flowers are ready to go day of or the day before. And if it's the day before, put them in the refrigerator in water, and they should be fine the next day. So there's not a lot that I would say. And then, or if you have somebody like a magician or somebody that you want to come in as a fund vendor and entertainer throughout the day, that's also a great thing you can have a friend do. So there are ways to have friends participate in the process that aren't part of the key components of the day, which of course you don't really want a friend doing the DJ. I mean, you can. I will take that back. I've seen friends do DJ work that were fantastic because they actually were a DJ at a radio station. And so they did a great job, but they didn't have any of the equipment. It was low key, and yeah. So you want to keep that in mind. Uh-oh. My dog just slipped. And she just peed in her diaper. Oh, Lord. I gotta go take care of that now. This is real life. Having a senior dog. We can get in more of the nitty gritty, and that's what we will be getting into when I talk with a wedding planner, is that they're definitely going to talk about the vendors and what vendors you should hire and shouldn't, and things you should do and things that you shouldn't DIY and all that fun stuff. the DJ. I will actually have a whole video about sound and DJ, so we will talk about that more extensively later on. I'm trying to get as much of these videos up as possible. I might even go up it to about 3 days a week from now until the end of June, because a lot of weddings are happening this fall. So now is the time for people to get this information. So, all right, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.